Welcome back, guys, to part 3 of the Q&A. Already 1 hour and 20 minutes worth of questions answered. Man, just to answer these questions properly takes the time, and you guys know it. I hope you guys have been using the descriptions to navigate to the questions you want to hear or want to see as well, so you can get to the point rather than having to swerve through them all. But yeah, notice, always in the description, all the timestamps you need for all the questions you want. So we've done channel questions, we've done video game questions, we've done game requests. Now it is time for us to get on to the normal questions, or more to the point, the questions more about me, or the random stuff that you guys give me, that's for sure. So let's pick our first question and get this underway and see if we can make this one a bit faster, eh? So, if I could be anything, what would I be? Now I'm guessing by that question you really mean anything. As in, like, I could be a giraffe if I wanted to, or I could be a Bulbasaur if I wanted to, or something like that. But I'm going to take this in a more down-to-earth based kind of fashion. I mean, it would be nice being like a world leader that controls the entire world for a day and try to put things right, but then you know that you'd not put things right and you'd most likely screw everything up. So I'll just go and change that question a little bit to kind of what I wanted to be as a kid. Because you always have those kind of things that you want to be as a kid, like what jobs did you want to have, what lists, what career, what do you want to be when you wanted to grow up. And then some kids have that dream of being the astronaut, the pro footballer, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I was looking at football, that is of course the European version of football, not the American kind, as a kid, because, well, most kids do. They fall into one sport and they kind of go, yes, I want to be that. But to be honest, actually, when I grew up, I wanted to be, first of all, a teacher. I actually wanted to grow up to be a teacher, probably like primary school level, and just teach the next generation of kids cool stuff. That's basically what I wanted to be. Then as I grew up, I wanted to be a forensic scientist, but I never really got those grades, or really I didn't put my head down and buckle down and really go for that. But yeah, forensic scientist became my second thing, and then my dream became, you know, adulthood came around. I was going to go into computer programming, that kind of thing, and then I just ended up drifting into this and just normal jobs, I would say. So yeah, that's what I wanted to be, a teacher when I was younger. That's definitely what I wanted to be. So I'll take that question, bend it a little bit into something a little bit different, because to be honest, I'm not that kind of outlandish person who go, I'd want to be this, because then I could just see loads of drawbacks. I'm quite happy being me. Okay, we have ourselves a theme of questions for the next few. Do you watch anime? What is your favourite manga and anime? What is your top 10 anime? Do you watch Dragon Ball Z Abridged? Let's start with that final one. Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I've never watched it. I've watched, of course, the original Dragon Ball Z. I've watched... Funnily enough, I haven't watched the original Dragon Ball, though Becca really loves it. Becca hasn't watched all the Dragon Ball Z. I've watched all the Dragon Ball Z. I've watched Dragon Ball GT. Yeah, those were more or less my gateway animes when I was younger in secondary school, because there wasn't really that much on. Now that the internet's around and we got things like Crunchyroll around, we can watch what we want and we can expand. Back then it was pretty much, you watch Dragon Ball or we don't watch Dragon Ball. I know one of my favourite series ever, or as a kid, the one I liked the most that was on like Toonami, that was around back then in the UK, was definitely 100% Outlaw Star. I very much enjoyed Gene Starwin's adventures and kind of hoped that it would get sequels and go onwards out from there. And more Outlaw Star is basically what I wanted back then. But yeah, there wasn't that many anime TV series on. Nowadays, of course, there's loads of anime, there's loads of manga. So, if I had to pick favourites, there is an endless list of manga and anime, or mainly manga, that I've read. So, to be honest, I really like the manga Bakuman, which is a manga about making manga. I really enjoyed that. I've read many manga, like, let's just roll some off. History, Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. Of course I've read Naruto, of course I've read Bleach, but funnily enough, I do not like them half as much as I do most of the other random stuff I read. Like My Name in Spring or something like that, the latest one, Shigatsu Sablalalala. But it's about a violinist and a pianist. People might know what I mean by that, but that was really beautiful. There's been some really nice ones I've read. Quite like World Trigger at the moment, Assassination Classroom. there's just loads. There's loads. Terraformers. We've watched. We've been watching Well, me and Beck together. We've been watching Terraformers. We've been watching Parasite. We've been watching Baby Steps. Quite enjoy sports mangas a lot. So Kuroko no Bazuki. Of course, you might have seen me wear a Kaluko shirt once. Lots and lots of stuff. Do we dabble with? Do we watch here, there, and everywhere? So. Honestly, if I were to give you a list, it would be massive. But yeah, I very much like anime, I very much like manga, I read a lot of manga. Berserk's another great one, other stuff like that. To be honest, my taste in manga rarely flip beyond genres, to be honest. I read girls' manga as well. I kind of like that as well as thingy. I mean, I mentioned Fruits Basket quotes before and stuff like that. So my genres are crazy. They go everywhere. They really do go everywhere. So yeah, I love manga and anime. What nicknames do people give me? Well, Olizandri is not one I hear a lot, to be honest. I don't even hear my name that often, to be honest. I always think like I'd never hear Sam, but then to be honest, your own name you probably don't register that much. You probably just go her and kind of like don't actually remember your name being said so much, or at least that might be me more than anything. To be honest, Kung Fu wise, I ended up with a nickname of Girl Pants. That's because of Becca, because she's mean. That stuck for quite a while, but now I don't really have one again. I'm just back to Sam. Back to plain old boring Sam. But yeah, the Girl Pants thing was, what's the TV series? It was like little boy called Lucian in it and stuff like that, and Becca always kind of like said, yeah, you're the nerdy one in that, and Lucian's the bully one, and that's Becca bullying me, so I'm Girl Pants. So yeah, that actually happened, and I'm afraid saying that will make you guys say it, so please don't. I'm Oliz. Oliz, thank you. No need to get insulting with nicknames. Right then, here, go for another question straight away here. What's the meaning of life? The answer is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy 42, of course. No, well, the meaning of life is just to live it happily, just to get what you want out of it, which sometimes comes at the expense of others, but don't commit crimes and all that, to be honest. Try to be good to other people. Just try to be what you'd consider morally a good human being. Because to be honest, even if people, even criminals for example, I imagine that they go around and they commit their crimes and like they murder, steal and whatnot, and to be honest, in their back of their mind they're going, well, this gets me what I want and I'm happy with that, or you know, like that. But back of their mind they know it's not good, unless they're completing a sociopath or psychopath, but they know it's not good. You know when you're doing something that isn't good. So just try to stay on that good side and be nice to people as well as you can. Of course, humans are humans, so that doesn't always happen because we're all bad at times. Let's put it that way. We're all bad up here. That's the problem. It's filtering out the things that come in your mind and being good with your actions and the words that you say. Because up here, we're all kind of bad because we all will think bad things. That's just a thing. But yeah, just try to live your life well. Try to live it great. Try to be great with your family, or more to the point, your direct family, your wife, your kids, in the future. That's what I'd say meaning of life is. And then we cut it because really the answer was 42. So, have I ever met any of my fans? The answer to that is pretty much no. I've met people who watch my stuff, but I haven't met any of my fans, as in I haven't met any of you that I don't know personally, if you know what I mean, in the real world anyway. So, no, I haven't met any of my fans yet, but that kind of comes with the territory of not really going, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, I've gone to this con, that con. I'm not a big YouTuber, so therefore I'm not going to, like, things like, well, it's Eurogamer Expo, it used to be around here in London, but now it's something bigger. I can't fly to America to go to, like, PAX and all that, and even if I did and I went, yo, guys, I'm at PAX, do you think many people would turn up for me? I don't know, actually, because I've never been out there to try it. But no, I haven't met any fans in real life. I haven't met any of you. No, I'm guessing one day that time will come where I just randomly bump into someone who does watch my videos, more or less. I guess it'll be something like that happens. But, next question. What's my favourite plushie on the sofa? Now, I think another question that someone asked, or I can't remember where it was now, but is like, how many do you have, or do you have more apart from this? I think this is our plushie collection, and I say our, but ours by marriage, because to be honest, I don't own, oh actually no, wait a second, I own Bowser. Bowser's mine. And then all of these were pretty much Becca's beforehand. There was stuff that, for example, I might have bought for Becca. I wonder if you can hear me when I turn around, but I bought for Becca. There are others that Becca's got because she loves the stuff lately. There's stuff that we got collector's edition with the game, so Mr. Drippy. But yeah, Bowser's the one that's... Bowser's my one. Bowser's the one that's funny. I actually had that in my bed for a while. That's just weird as hell, but it's just like, yeah, Bowser, I'll plug him in there. Here we go. He's in the bed. I don't know why. We slept with Bowser. It was great. That sounds weird. But let's move on. Basically, my favourite plushie would probably be Bowser, because it's mine. Mine. Honestly, apart from that, though, we have loads of figures of Final Fantasy, like, around the house and all that. Collector's figurines, there's some Gundam stuff and all that. So, these are all Becca's supplies before I even met her, more or less. More or less. So, onwards. Some more questions. Right then, the next question is a two-parter. So many of you gave me like multiple part questions, you greedy people trying to get me to answer all yours and no one else's, but hopefully it's things that people want to know, so that's why I kind of go across them. Right, can you have my Eevee plushie? No, because it's not mine, we just explained that. Would I rather eat a pound of bananas or a pound of burgers? Burgers, for me. Meat eater, I'm afraid, though I really should eat more fruit and just try to eat healthier in general. Since I met Becca, my eating habits have got so much better as well. It's one of the things that you kind of get when you get married or when you meet like the right person. They try to help you better yourself. My eating habits have been way better since I met Becca, but I still go for burgers right now because I think that would be more joyful than just eating lots of bananas all the time, all that potassium. Is it potassium in them? I do not know. Whatever. Right, you also asked, what is the favourite movie or TV show that I've watched? So the last best TV show I watched, well, TV series that I really like Stargate. Stargate I have at the Atlantis and the SG-1 box set and all their movies, but I don't have the Stargate Universe stuff. I haven't watched that yet. Maybe I will in the future. I know it was a cancelled series and it never got to reach its real conclusion. Apart from that, as I look over to my collection, Farscape. So generally I'm like stuff in the realm of sci-fi, but the last great TV series I watched was Fargo. It's a TV series based around a movie, based around like a murders in this, well, a lonely town, and it's just great. It's just great. I'm really waiting for season 2 of it, which will be like way in the past. Movie... I don't really have a favourite movie, to be honest. There's not a movie out there that I go, See, my mind gears more towards long-term TV series. For example, I have the Smallville series, but I don't really like Superman, and I don't really like Smallville. But my mind is geared up to say, well, once I've started knowing a character, as long as this keeps going on and building up for as long as possible, then I'll watch it. It's weird. So movies, being like 1.5 hours to 2.5 hours long, they don't get me. But series, even if I don't necessarily like what's going on in them, like Smallville, I can watch and it gets me. I don't understand why, but that's just how my mind's kind of geared. I could say like some really like, well, not so obscure ones like Battle Royale are the ones that I own more or less. Movie-wise, if I look up, I don't really own so many, whereas TV series-wise, I own a bit more, because I really like, for example, Bones, and I quite like Chuck, and stuff like that. Movies, the only ones I really own, I really think, to try and look it over to them, if you know what I mean, and scan the shelves, are pretty much just Battle Royale. Yeah, Battle Royale then, I'd probably say, if I actually put the money in to buy it. Okay then, Olizandri, what is your favourite colour? To be honest, most of the time I would probably say red. But in reality, for example, as a kid, I had, when I was 16 or so, when I actually had hair and it wasn't receding anymore, cry, I used to want to dye my hair like highlights. Yes, because I was kind of that grunge kid back in 6th form, like listening to Nirvana and all that, which will be another question coming on. But I used to want red highlights. But really what I wanted was neon green highlights. I wanted to have neon green highlighted hair. Yes, I am weird. But yeah, kind of like if I bend down here, and you can see my bald spot for a second, how dare you? Kind of like that green, you know, like the Xbox kind of case green? I kind of like green quite a bit. So if, honestly, I'd say my favourite colour would probably be green. Neon-y green. Okay, moving on from that question. What kind of music and bands do I like? Okay, music genres, I pretty much do not like anything popular, anything that appears in the pop charts, and I'm a bit of a music snob in the way that I think, because I think that if a band does not play their own instruments, then I'm not interested most of the time. Pretty much, bye-bye, gone. It doesn't even enter here. So a lot of electronic music, that kind of thing, I can listen to some of it, but because they're making it at least, so they have the talent to do that. But I like guitars. As I've said in previous videos, I love rock bands, so playing a lot of the stuff on there is brilliant for me. So a lot of old classic rock, metal, heavy metal, even death metal, dark metal, the despicable kinds of metal I can listen to, that complete and utter screaming kind of stuff. I can listen to that because I know that the screaming, that kind of guttural noise, is basically another instrument, another musical tone alongside all that lovely guitar playing rather than actual singing. So I get that, I understand that. So it's genres like that. I mean, I can listen to the Foo Fighters one day, Queens of the Stone Age, and then I can listen to like Cradle of Filth the next day, and In Flames, that kind of thing. Korn's latest albums, which have got like this mix of dubstep and all that, I find are great walking tunes. So if I go walking somewhere and I want to keep up a beat, I put on that latest Korn album and the Korn dubstep album, which is weird. And I don't really like dubstep or anything like that, but I put that kind of mix album on. That's good walking tunes. So I can listen to really old stuff because I've got lots of the Beatles, and I can listen to like really new stuff. To be honest though, I haven't been picking up a lot of music lately. A lot of my music tastes are more in the past, like your Nirvanas, or my music taste was built up around the time I was in sixth form, which was over 10 years ago. So back then it was like Bowling for Soup, a lot of the punk stuff, Sum 41, Blink 182, that kind of thing. So really it's a quite broad spectrum, but keeping away just your general singers in some senses. Though I will admit that the Finnish entry for Eurovision by Hanna Parkkinen, Leave Me Alone, really was the deserving winner. Really was the deserving winner. But still, yes, sometimes I can listen to singers, other times not. Even, I mean, Becca's got me listening to stuff like Back of Beyond and stuff like the rainforesty kind of music from the thingy. That's cool, because there's musicianship, there's skill there. I've seen them live. I've seen other bands live of her that are kind of like weird, like Ohuli and Tidal. They're a duo from up north. And yeah, it's weird stuff, but I guess what I'm trying to say is now I started punk, I went kind of rock metal, heavy metal, I'm kind of even toyed with a gothic phase, and then didn't kind of get in there, and now I'm really mellowing out. So now it's like, as Queens of the Stone Age mellow out, their music's amazing. Oh my god, it's amazing. And then other stuff like Back of Beyond is now coming in, and listening to more Beatles. So that's my music taste. That took a long time indeed to explain that one. So, what do I love to do when I'm not doing YouTube? When am I not doing YouTube is basically the answer to that question. There's always something going on that PC. Right now, we're rendering the second Q&A vlog, and at the same time I'm uploading an episode of Mario and Luigi. That's going on right now. That's the kind of craziness that's happening. Right, apart from that, I will watch anime with Becca. That's usually my downtime. Occasionally I do get to play a video game or two on my own time, which is very rare. And of course I do Kung Fu, which is a couple of times a week. So that segues into the next question. So the next question comes up, and it's based on the martial arts because I've mentioned it many times, so it makes sense that you guys would ask. So, you guys wanted to know many a question, or many a part of it. You wanted to know, what style of Kung Fu do I learn? Where do I learn it? What else was it here? We've got the how long have I been learning it? And can I show you a video of me doing it? So that's quite an interesting gamut of answers. So let us get started. Right, I am learning in the Shaolin Qixia style of Kung Fu, which basically translates as 7 animal styles. So we do 7 animal styles as our basic forms while learning self-defense and whatnot, kicks and yada yada. So the 7 animal styles we learn, and these are actually in order of belts as well that you go up through, because forms of one part of the grading. There are like other things like breaks, kicks and stances, stuff like that, and actual combat application, yada yada. Right, yada yada yada. So, for example, we'd start off and we'd do one base form, which is discipline form, and that's quite a long form, but it's got all your basic blocks and all that. Then we'd go up and we'd do tiger form, which is basically that kind of strikes, tiger kind of claw going on. Then we go to dragon for our white belt, because we got a belt system. So red belt would be there, white belt would be dragon, yellow belt would be mantis, orange belt would be snake, so that would be the next one in profession. Then we'd go to our green belt, which is monkey. We do white crane form next, which is blue belt. And then we do, well, that white crane then gets us, if we complete that one, we get our brown belt. And then at brown black tag is when we start to be taught, well, really like, for our grading, we start to go for our black belt, which is eagle form. So that makes sense. There's a one belt that's kind of split up into a tag system, so it's brown, black tag. You might start learning your eagle at brown. So at the moment, I am a brown belt in it. So I've learned every single animal form so far. However, these animal forms are just a small section of what is the actual form for the animal. So basically, once you get to Dan's and black belt and higher, you basically learn the actual expanded form, which is like, it goes from, for example, if I take tiger, for example, it goes from 6 moves or 6 patterns to 19 plus to 20 something. I think like Dan 4, there's like the moves of up to like 30 patterns, which go on for quite a bit. Because one pattern might be like several moves in it, if you know what I mean. That kind of explains maybe a little bit if you're a martial arts enthusiast or if you do martial arts yourself. So I'm a brown belt. I've graded about a month ago for that, so it's a while yet till I go for my brown black tag, and it's a while yet till I get my black belt, which will probably be over a year. The reason I'm a brown belt, so I'd say so fast-ish, is because I've been training for about 2 years, 3-4 months at this point in time, but I have been doing like multiple lessons a week. At one point I was doing the Monday, the Wednesday, the Thursday and Sunday every week, and sometimes of course I was visiting other classes, so there'd be like 4 or 5 lessons a week, so I was doing a lot of it indeed. So now I'm back down to only like 2 lessons because me and Becca decided we kind of want more us time, and that was one of the things that had to kind of give in getting that. So yeah, I'm doing Shaolin Chi Kung Fu. That is basically what I'm doing. It is located around the Gloucestershire area, kind of like slightly coming over into Wales a little bit, and down into the south of England, which I think is as far as Stroud, where I live, more or less. So it's all around the Forest of Dean, Gloucestershire, Wales, that kind of area, southwest of England. It is expanding currently, but you know, it takes time to train instructors, let's put it that way. So that's about where I do it. I've been doing it for 2 and a bit years, as I've said. So the last question for that is, can I show you a video of doing it? Now that's a little bit problematic. I've actually edited up a big demo video for my school. We did a demonstration, and basically we'd go to like school fetes and fairs and that kind of thing and do a demo to try and drum up membership, if you know what I mean. A lot of martial arts schools do these demonstrations to try and show what they are, show people to come in. So I've done some videos for them and actually edited up some big action videos, kind of like more along my Black Ops lines with multiple camera angles so we can see everything. But I'm not allowed to show you guys them pretty much. They're pretty much for the school, because the school's techniques are the school's techniques, even though a lot of techniques in martial arts cross over into other martial arts. So I'd have to ask my master if I could do that, basically. So I'll ask, and I'm going to summer camp tomorrow. Of course, I'll be there when you see this video. I'll be, well, coming back, I'll probably just about be back from that. But still, I'll ask, but I'm not sure if I can for that one. So that's a lot of Kung Fu talked about. Next question. Right, we're going to get into food questions here. But first of all, how old are you? I'm just about to hit 30, which is a bit of a cry moment for me. This hair is not going to last much longer, and you'll see that's a theme. I get teased about this a lot. To be honest, my hair's fine at the moment, but it's going away. I don't want it to. I don't want baldness. No siree for me. But yeah, I'm just about to hit 30, so you can pretty much judge my age by that. It's not long now. It's only a couple of months, in fact. Oh my. Not pleased about that at all, but food stuff. Some of you guys sent in some weird food questions, starting with, can I have mushroom and ham tagliatelle without the mushrooms? Now this is of course by a friend who watched an occasional video. No, you can't, because it's not a mushroom and ham tagliatelle, which is my speciality dish, if it hasn't got mushrooms in it, and you can't taste them. Yes, they've got a bit of texture to them, but it tastes really nice, and I don't even like mushrooms, and I have them in a lot of my food now, because it works in a lot of dishes, and it just tastes nice. Trust me. Believe. To be honest, I like to cook stuff like jambalaya, which I probably pronounced very wrong, some Cajun dishes, mushroom chicken risottos, lots of spag bowls, you know, like the usual pasta dishes. Quite a lot of pasta dishes are on our menu. I do a celery, carrot, and what's the other part? Onion soup and stuff like that for a little bit of a veggie option and yada yada. Phew, I'm a cook, me. So say that my friends say I should do an Ollie's Pantry thing, as I've mentioned before, where I do a cooking show for you guys. That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? That would be weird. Right, next cooking question. I'm going to have to read them again at this point. Kinda odd, but would you ever eat Cheetos with ketchup? I don't eat Cheetos. In fact, to be honest, I don't know if they sell them over here. I actually don't. I don't see them anywhere. So no, because I can't even get hold of them. I am. But to be honest, not a big ketchup fan. Becca likes ketchup. I don't like ketchup. My condiment of choice, if you want more useless information, which is what Q&As are for, with the handsy gestures, my condiment of choice is white pepper. I love white pepper on things. I put loads of pepper in everything. I love pepper. Oh, pepper. Pepper's my thing. White pepper indeed. Black pepper's... But see, white pepper's more for like coating something like after, and black pepper's for actually cooking something. So that's how I kind of view the peppers for me. Like white pepper goes great with like chicken soup. And I love white pepper on chips. Black pepper I put in all my cooking, and I don't touch white pepper with that. Random information. Here's another one. What is your favourite cereal? To be honest, for a long time I never ate breakfast because I didn't like it. And my stomach's upset in the morning if I eat something. But now I find it's quite nice, and it's quite easy to just make some instant porridge. I quite like porridge as a whole, like just ready brick porridge. I'm just a porridge eater now. I don't know why. Oh no, wait, I do know why. It's because I had my wisdom tooth out a couple of months ago, and I couldn't eat anything, and my mouth couldn't open more than like that much. And so I had to eat soft foods for ages, like just Angel Delight or custard or porridge, or I think I was eating mash and gravy with cheese in it, completely pureed, if you know what I mean, for like a month. That was kind of hell. To be honest, that was not fun. But yeah, that's pretty much what I ate. Yeah, so my favourite cereal is porridge. More useless information given to you. Amazing. Okay, what is your favourite Pokemon? Nowadays it is Gardevoir, as we kind of learnt from my Let's Play. That Ralts growing up into a big strong lady and pretty much leading me through that as the fairy type. Gardevoir is now my queen. She's my queen. Apart from that, another question. What is your favourite voice in anything? To be honest, I'd have to say the witchy voice, because I love doing it. It's so fun. And to be honest, by the way, whenever I'm doing a voice in a Let's Play, and I'm holding like the thing, of course we're talking, so I press with A, you've got my hand up there. Always I'm behind the screen going, I'm going to defeat you all, turn you into little piglets. That is actually going on behind the screen. If I were doing live Let's Plays on like Twitch and streaming them, this is what you'd see if I had a camera thing up. My hands go everywhere. That's why I'm just such a handsy talker, like a politician, but not as untrustworthy. So many questions yet again from one person, but first of all, we'll start off with, what's your real name? My real name is Emmanuel Escobar III of the Dukedom of Cambridge. That's my real name. Honestly, you'll hear my real name throughout the Let's Plays anyway. Most people know it because randomly I'll say, and it won't be Oliz, and then people get really confused. Your real name's not Oliz? To be honest, no one's really called Oliz. When I invented Oliz, as I explained in the name video, no one had it. No one! Since then there have been a couple of people that have taken the name, but no one's named Olizandri. When that first kid comes up that's called Olizandri, it'll be crazy. And no, I'm not allowed to name my son Olizandri. No, I am not allowed. Right, let's get to the other question, which I've now forgotten, so jump cut! Okay, would I be open to doing a Draw My Life? Have I ever lived abroad? What is my favourite food? And what is the best year I've had? The best year I've had is the year since I've been married. So to be honest, like in the last year, just kind of ending, is pretty much the best year. I got married to a lovely lady. I'm very, very happy, thank you. So that is pretty much my best year. My favourite food is actually, at the moment, it is spaghetti bolognese, but without spaghetti. I think I use a pasta called malfada corta or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of a flatter pasta. It's basically bolognese. Second day, so your leftover bolognese, refried with some more stock cubes, beef stock, so it's really meaty, with the pasta then put in and go around as like that kind of like sauce comes off. That I'm just digging at the moment. I don't know why. I never used to even eat second day food or leftovers. I couldn't do it. Now it's another thing that Becca's helped me with. I'm a lot better for it. Oh man, I was such a picky eater. There's so much more I eat now. So yeah, that is my favourite food at the moment. Apart from that, have I ever lived abroad? No, I've always lived in England, though I have moved into just different places here and there. And the last question, oh yeah, the Draw My Life question, wasn't it? I don't know, I've seen a couple of those videos around, but my artistic talents aren't exactly the best, that's for sure. I'll give it a thought. I'll give it a thought, sir, or madam, or whatever you are. May you be an animal, I do not know, but I'll give it a thought. What is the strangest thing I believed as a child? That the Great Plague of London, and the bubonic plague as a whole, was actually called the Great Plague, and that everyone must have had really bad teeth to the point where they'd actually die of them. That is actually what I thought. I thought the Great Plague, because I was doing it in school, and I'd always call it the Great Plague. Now, I'm known for pronouncing things stupidly and wrong, but that's mixing a G with a Q, if you know what I mean. That's quite crazy. So yeah, everyone in London at that time, and everyone who died of the plague actually died of the plague, according to young me. That's for sure. Yes, I'm a bit weird. Have you ever played an instrument? I have played 2 different instruments in my life. 3 if I count a little bit of dabbling with something else I own. So the 3 instruments I played is, I did piano lessons when I was a kid. Not for that long though. As an adult I did drum lessons. Not for that long though, but enough to get some, normal basics and all that. Rock Band really got me into wanting to be a drummer rather than anything else, rather than a guitarist or anything. I preferred to be a drummer, that's for sure. And to be honest, I've got a really nice drum kit that I can't fit in this flat, so when I manage to move and get myself a house, that's going up pride of place somewhere, and I'm going to play around on that. That's for sure. Annoy my wife. Brilliant. And the other instrument that I dabbled with was a guitar. I don't think it was... No, it was a normal guitar, not a bass. I did play a little bit of guitar, but that was trying to self-teach myself. So that was rubbish. Rubbish. And of course you see me play an ocarina once as well, but those are the instruments I have played. What would you say if you made a fan game for me? I'd be worried. I'd be so worried about what you did with that. I would be, Fred, what do you guys really think of me? What do you guys think of a game situation I'd be in? I'd be afeared of what abomination this could become. It might be amazing, but I'd be like, what they think of me? What are they going to do with me? My body likeness, That's basically how I'd be viewing that one. That's basically how I'd get that one. Right. Did you go to college? Now, I'm really confused about this fact myself. Did I? Because there's different systems. I mean, you can leave school at 16, which is secondary school in England, and then you can go on to college for between 17 and 18. Or you can stick at most schools, which are known as sixth forms, but they also have the longer abbreviation, some of them, of sixth form colleges, which are basically kind of like prep school A-level kind of standard for university. So I went to sixth form between 17 and 18. What you might mean is university though, which I did get into a university up Gloucestershire, Cheltenham way, and I did not like what campus I was put on at all. I was in a computer programming course, and I was doing fairly well, and then I got really ill for a month, and I just felt really isolated being there. I was put in a campus that was in an actual different city than where the university was, and it was a campus full of sports people. Not that I don't like sports, if you know what I mean, but it didn't give me a lot of common ground originally, and man was I nerdier back then, man. So yeah, I didn't really get on, and that's why I ended up leaving it, to be honest. I didn't also like the thought of being in debt. which student loans brings you in. So yeah, I did go, but I don't think it was actually the right point in my life to do it. To be honest, I should have took some gap year, find out what I really wanted to do, maybe got some work, some real world experience, try to grow up a bit more before I went to university. There's really a choice in life, because a lot of people are like, you know, go to uni, further yourself, better yourself, and I would agree with that. But sometimes for some people, it's not the best thing right then and there. Sometimes those gap years, those formative years that can like bring you life experience are better learning that you can make in a school environment at that point. So yeah, it's questions on that one. Plus maybe if you have a gap year, you can then make money, save it up, not be under a student loan, not be in debt, get a nice place, study while getting a nice job going. That might be a better thing for you. If that's kind of like why you're asking, is your informational thing for it. But yeah, I went and I didn't like and I left. And that pretty much has led me to here, so I can't say I'm that unhappy. Next question, when is the stork coming? Not for a while yet. There are conditions to be set for, well, us as a whole, because while I am getting on in my years, I don't want to be having a kid without having a house. I don't want to be having a kid in an unstable environment where there's no space. I want to have space for this kid to live, a garden, a nice area. Do you know what I mean? Some people, of course, they get in circumstance. Some people just, you know, they have a kid out of love, and that's great. That's fine. Different folks, different strokes is a good saying. I know Becca worries a lot about money, this and that, with like the future and yada yada. So a house is a very major goal before we think about that. It really is. So to be honest, we're trying to do everything in what you could clarify as the right order, not saying that any order is the wrong order. So we just want to get a stable foundation, and then we'll think about that stork flying in, okay? Okay, here's a conglomeration of YouTube-based questions. What gamers do I like to watch? Someone else asked, what YouTubers do I watch if I watch any at all? What do I think about YouTube? I think that's pretty much it. Or what are my favourite YouTube channels, if you know what I mean. Right, so what gamers do I like to watch? Well, I don't really watch a lot on YouTube because, again, harking back to previous answers to a lot of things, I don't have time to watch videos on YouTube. I really don't. If I'm making videos, I can't watch videos. So therefore, because I'm always making videos, I never really actually get the time to check out what other people are doing because I'm making so many videos. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I don't really have my favourites, so to say. There were periods of time where I'd watch streaming personalities or YouTube VODs of streams. So way back I used to watch Day9, who is a StarCraft guy. I'm sub to, for example, people like Wheezy Waiter for just that little kind of comedic kind of kick. I'm sub to... I can't really think, to be honest. This is how much I can't watch YouTube. Occasionally a video will be picked up. Mainly, if I watch a YouTube video, it will be Becca watching it. And Becca really likes Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling's done, he really likes him as a whole, from the whole Escapist Day and now his own YouTube channel with his Patreon and all that jazz. He's quite a funny guy, to be honest, and he's native English even if he's moved away to America. So occasionally stuff like that. I tend to watch streamers if I watch gamers at all. So what I'll be is I usually go on, if I watch streams, it will usually be a League of Legends stream. I quite like Cyanide because he's an ex-pro player, dry sense of humour, and isn't so ridiculous like other streamers that there are on there. I mainly watch the actual official League games of League of Legends, to be honest. So that's kind of what I watch if I watch anything on these kind of things. What do I think of YouTube? I think it's, well, great for now, but it stands to... What I'm waiting for is the bubble to burst when YouTubers pretty much die, is what I'd say at this point in time, because of course with all copyright debacles, all that, at some point in time a legal ruling will be made on things, for example like gaming YouTubers, and most likely we'll lose, even though of course we'll not be competing anything, and the game companies will get what they want, which for some of them really is just this no free advertising, thank you. We just want everything, and we want complete control of our product, which is fine by them. So kind of what I'm expecting is in time YouTube not to really stand in the way of it either. is the death of YouTube gamers as a whole and copyright just killing everything. To be honest, that's actually what I expect. I think of YouTube in a way that it will not stand in the way of that. And I wish, to be honest, it was more supportive and more trying to help, especially networks that are involved in gaming as well. I really wish those networks were more supportive and tried to make things more clear-cut. So that's overall my thoughts of YouTube. I only really will get to watch a couple of people. That was a weird hand movement there. I only get to watch a couple of people, and if I do, it's usually live streams on Twitch rather than anything on YouTube because I'm so busy making videos. My goodness, I am. If you could live in any video, I'm assuming game world, what one would it be? To be honest, fantasy RPG world, to be honest, where you kind of like, you wake up one day and you're a young kid and you go out and there's a couple of monsters around your village and you bash on them and then all of a sudden you've got muscles and you're really strong because you've got the experience to level up and you go on a grand adventure across the known worlds and experience everything. And of course only ever happens to like a couple of kids, whereas everyone else in that, you know, world just kind of stays there in the towns going, yeah, I'll just stay here. And you become some kind of ridiculous behemoth, like ridiculously strong with like quad wielding, even though you've got two hands, just like Darth Maul times two. I don't know. That's kind of the world that I actually wanted to grow up in, to be honest. As a kid, I was like, oh, why can't worlds be more like a JRPG world? It'd be so much easier to get like intelligence by beating this monster and leveling up. That way I'd be smarter. Ha! Amazing, I wouldn't have to study. That kind of video game world, great, great. To be honest, going back to the manga, there's a manga called The Gamer that I quite like reading, and that's literally what he's done. He kind of got like a game element to him, and he leveled up his intelligence, and overnight he became really smart and easily able to like photographically memorize all these textbooks, looking through really fast, instantly understands things. That is pretty much what I'd want. Apart from that, the other question. What was it again? What kind of games did you play? Yes, I've got this thing down there. What kind of games did you play when you were a kid? When I was young, I've kind of explained this a little bit. I grew up Sega, so it was the Sonics, the Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, General Chaos, a lot of old Mega Drive games really, mainly in series. Bomberman, Mega Bomberman with the quad tap thing, oh those were the days. And then I grew up with the N64 and I played more Bomberman on that. It wasn't such a Mario biggie then. I mean, honestly, I only got into Mario, of course, with the Mario games I played, the Paper Mario kind of games and stuff like that. So those were the kind of games I played as a kid. Your Golden Suns on the Game Boy Advances, your Tetrises, your Pokemon. I got into gaming kind of late, around probably like the age of 10, rather than when I was very, very young, because now, of course, games are ridiculously accessible for even like the 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds that are playing games. Back then, it was still a new thing. It was coming in. I'm born in the golden age of gamers. Exactly the right age to have experienced pretty much all of it in its prime. So, pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty much the games I played. A lot of the games I played on the channel of the old games are pretty much what I played as a kid, and that's part of the reason why I choose to play them on the channel. What's your favourite idea? Mine is being creative. How'd you get that idea? How do you maintain your sanity while balancing all this YouTube, all this kung fu, marriage, etc, etc? The marriage is the great thing, so I don't have to worry about that. The kung fu is released physically, so that works to like help counterbalance the sitting around of doing all the YouTube all the time. To be honest, I'm very much used to it, to be honest, all the job and all that. I'm, to be honest, looking forward to getting a new job, a different job than what I've been doing, and trying a different thing in life as well. I've just got used to it. I enjoy doing the YouTube stuff, otherwise I wouldn't have done like 2,800 videos. Sometimes it is very stressful to reach certain deadlines. Right now, trying to get this video done before I go Kung Fu, even though I'm probably back now, because that's how videos go. It's a ridiculously stressful deadline. I've got to upload several days worth of videos before the next day, which today it's Wednesday, tomorrow will be Thursday. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just, sometimes it's insane, sometimes it's insane. Kung Fu, I did too much of it, which is why I cut down some to better be at home with my wife, which she is the sanity leveler. Being around her makes me a better person, I feel. It makes me a more level-headed person. It eases me out, so I don't have to think of her as something I have to balance. Or, I don't think relationships should be that way, so let's put it that way. I get by is basically it. If I didn't, I'd imagine that actually YouTube would be the first thing to go. So if I'm not managing it, you'd know. Trust me, you really would know. Like my upload schedule would drop off. I wouldn't be committed to doing that one episode at least every day of each series that I'm doing. So you'd know. Do you have a pet? And what is its name? Well, I think you've seen her in thumbnail form before, and at the end of one of my videos, I have a lovely little black cat called Morrow. Otherwise, we actually just pretty much call her Kitty. Kitty Woo. Kitty. She's just basically Kitty. We're completely unoriginal. I've already chosen the next name for my next cat because, to be honest, I'm a cat person. I love cats. Not so interested in dogs. Cats, bring them on. They're so cute and they're independent and they never let you go on them. They always run away. They don't love fuss and attention. No, my next name for a cat is going to be Krim. So when she's being she or he, it's probably going to be a she because our current cat's a she, so you don't want that kind of thing going on. But Krim is basically short for criminal, so we can call her Krim. You're a Krim. You're a Krim. That's basically what I'm going to name my next cat. But of course, won't be getting a next cat till we get a house. But yeah, my lovely little black cat named Morrow that I can't get for this Q&A video because she's sleeping currently under my bed in amongst all the boxes, and that would take ages to fish out, and I feel really mean. But apart from that, what animal am I most scared of? Do spiders count as an animal or not? That's what I'm wondering. To be honest, spiders are my thing. To be honest, I'm not actually as bad with them as I think. They're horrible when they just kind of appear. Yesterday I had a random big earwig on my bed while I was like, oh, what the hell's that? It's an earwig! Because I'm a big girly girl, that's what it is. Now it's an earwig on the bed. I was like, how the hell did that get there? We don't get any bugs in our flat because we got a cat and it's 3rd floor. So nothing gets up here. It's like, what? How? How is that here? But yeah, it was. So, but animal-wise, I'd probably say I live in England. I don't really have any animal to be really afraid of. But I'd say the most bad animal you can get around here is an adder. So snakes, maybe. Snakes, I'll go with snakes. Adders are poisonous and they're about the only native poisonous thing around here. Apart from like false widow spiders. So snakes. Or the spiders that come in bananas. Ah, bananas! And so guys, that actually brings a close for the general questions. Of course, yet again, there was some overlap. But yeah, make sure that you've been following the timestamps if you have down below so you can skip to the questions you want to see and what you don't. So that is 3 parts of the Q&A done. No clue how long this video has been, but it feels like a long time. So I will see you guys around for the next one, which will probably be Zelda questions. I'll see you there for that. Bye-bye.